As the first rays of sunlight touch our Pacific paradise of Guam, all 170,000 of us will soon wake up to meet the latest arrivals to our island community. New neighbors with big guns.
The U.S. and Japan have agreed that approximately 8,000 Marines and 9,000 dependents from the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force are going to relocate from Okinawa to Guam. Now, the time frame that's set out for building the bases on Guam and the housing and the utilities and everything that's going to be needed is that this will be constructed from 2010 through 2014.
Announced in 2006 and signed last February by both the governments of Japan and the United States, the relocation agreement has set the island ablaze with build-up fever.
Well, the military buildup is a lifetime opportunity. Never before have we seen this type of money and investment into Guam since the end of World War II. We're talking $10 to $15 billion of investment in a very short timeline.
The spending on the buildup is unprecedented, both from a military view and clearly from a Guam view. It's going to have socioeconomic impacts, infrastructure impacts, political impacts, and it will change the face of Guam in the 21st century.
The scenario has been described as 20 years worth of development within a 5-year deadline. And while plans for the buildup are fueling a fresh real estate and construction boom, which local businessmen hope will accelerate the island's prosperity, some sectors are concerned that the massive transfer will overwhelm our tiny island and our fragile resources.
When Guam was a sleepy island, adding a few bases was different than Guam today, which is a very progressive and aggressive.
We anticipate over the next several years 2 waves of a population growth. The first wave will be the relocation of a temporary workforce. They anticipate 15 to 20,000 temporary construction workers that will come out here. The second wave that will come is a more permanent increase in our population base. We anticipate that it will grow as much as 25%. Shortly after World War II, we had to rebuild the island, and there were several labor camps that were put out on Guam. I think lessons learned. We need to make sure that it's properly managed, that we create it so that the benefits will trickle down into the economy, so our local people will be able to participate in the benefits brought on by this, and make sure that, again, we minimize any negative impacts as a result of this large increase in this population.
Nevertheless, the sheer haste and immensity of the buildup still cause more outspoken islanders to denounce the move as insensitive to the welfare of local residents.
To try and achieve this massive of a buildup in such a small location, to do something this intrusive and have no other type of, and have no experience in doing it, really puts the people in a very interesting position. And I think, but maybe, I'll dare to say that the most important to many of us is the lack of consideration and communication with our elected representatives. It's very clear this is an extreme form of dictatorship because we absolutely have no say.
There's a lot of people that have strong views on the buildup, for and against. It clearly stimulates a lot of concern, positive and negative, and there's a lot of uncertainty still today. So with uncertainty comes great speculation.
I believe most of the surveys will show they will reinforce the fact, if that ever takes place, that the people of Guam do support it. I think that, again, the major concern would be, how do we allow for the buildup to occur, improve the quality of life of our people, and minimize the negative consequences of this large population boom.
Despite its promise of growth and prosperity, The impending buildup has also revived many unresolved issues between the United States and Guam.
Frequently it depends on the history of a particular issue. But in general, the people of Guam are favorably disposed towards the military and military activities. But they also understand that the military is the primary reason for the federal government's relationship with the people of Guam. And it is that military connection that drives that relationship. And so, you know, if you're looking for a new balanced relationship or a new relationship that's based on a little bit more reciprocity, you kind of intuitively recognize that it's the military that's driving that engine.
Insofar as unresolved issues, there's still a lot of contaminated sites on the island as a result of the military. There's still some land issues that still have to be resolved. I really think that the military moving forward, one needs to, you know, look at the possibility of resolving some of these past issues, but also come clean moving forward, work together as a community, work with us, with the federal government in ensuring that we get the necessary funding.
Already home to some of the most critical U.S. military installations, Guam has been called the tip of the spear, a floating aircraft carrier, or the resident U.S. power in Asia. But these descriptions don't quite capture what this latest military buildup will mean to the day-to-day existence of the Chamorro people.